So on today's episode, we'll be previewing this year's Thermostat Cultures live event on Friday, November 8th. It's a hybrid event. There's a VIP kind of in-person experience in Columbus, Ohio for a limited seating to create that kind of intimate feel that we're going for, but then also an opportunity virtually. So today's episode will preview this powerful experience that's just coming in a couple short days.
Welcome back to The Thermostat with Jason Barger. If you're currently on a commute, a walk, or just a micro break in your day, glad you're making time to step back, to think, and to reflect on the next steps on your journey. I've never been more convinced the best leaders and team cultures in the world are the ones that make time to step back, breathe in good oxygen, and calibrate their thermostat. I hope today's conversation leaves you feeling grounded and inspired. Now let's dive into today's topic to engage our minds and hearts in order to authentically lead and create compelling cultures wherever we are in the world.
Hey everyone, it's Jason, and welcome back to the Thermostat Podcast. Wherever you are and however you're coming to the podcast today, so glad you are here. Welcome in. We are in Season 8, more than 250 episodes now, which is kind of amazing. And I love the energy, the excitement, the way that this continues to grow and spread. So glad that you are here. I want this to always be a place for you to step back, for you to think, to hopefully be filled with some positive messages that breathe some good oxygen into you and help you think about that temperature that you're trying to set in your life and your work. I'm more convinced than ever that we need that. Personally, but collectively throughout our teams and organizations as well. So if you're new to the podcast, welcome in. So glad you're here. I hope you'll go back and check out. There's been so many great thought leaders that have joined me on this podcast for great conversations. So many different topics, again, with 250 episodes. Just Google my name, Thermostat Cultures, and whatever topic you want, and I'm sure you're going to find something that's going to hopefully resonate with you. So welcome in to anybody that's new. If you're one of the OGs that have been with us from the very beginning, so glad this continues to add value to your life and work. Grateful for all the listeners out there and anybody that shares this with the people around them. To amplify these messages, because that's the point. So before we dive into today's topic, if you'll do me the quick favor, if you will rate the podcast 5 stars, of course, on whatever platform you're listening to, just smash that 5 stars button, if you will, just for a second. If you'll leave an authentic review in your own words, whatever. If you think a message resonates with you, or these are messages that are worthy to share in the world in a very noisy, negative world. If any of these messages you think have redeeming value, then I hope you'll leave an authentic review in your voice so that other people can find it. And then lastly, every time you invite people to hey, take a listen, you share an episode on social media or something that resonates with you, or send it to your colleagues, your team, your organization, your friends, whatever that may be, and say, hey, here's an episode I think we ought to listen to, and then talk about. Those are all the ways in which these messages share and are amplified further in the world, and I'm so grateful for everybody that takes a moment to do that. So thank you. We are just a few days away from one of my favorite times of the year, Friday, November 8th. Just in a couple of days here, I will host my 8th Thermostat Cultures live event, which is hard to believe. 8 different times we've done this. This will be the 8th coming up just in a couple of days. So hard to believe it's been 8 years. But when I think about that, I step back and I think about the amazing people that have been in that room, in this space, and a part of this event. The number of companies and organizations and wonderful humans that have contributed and been in the room and been a part of this from the very beginning has just been awesome. I also think about the amazing other, like the thought leaders and voices and other people that have joined me to speak and to share their stories and their perspectives on things. It's just awesome. And there's way too many of them, even over the course of 8 years to name, but just some that quickly come to my mind. Some of the notable past guests and voices who have joined me. People like Howard Behar, my great friend and mentor, the former president of Starbucks, 2-time NBA champion Shane Battier, the founder of Jenny's Ice Creams, Jenny Britton, founder of Cameron Mitchell Restaurants, Cameron Mitchell, founder of the social enterprise Unicorn, Kiva.org, Jessica Jackley, researcher on meaningful work cultures, Tamara Miles, former NBA number one draft pick Greg Oden, and many, many, many more. So I think about all those people, the great history of this event, and the humans and the heartbeat that have been a part of it, and so excited to preview and share with you about what's coming up in a couple of days at this year's event. So on today's episode, we'll be previewing this year's Thermostat Cultures live event on Friday, November 8th. It's a hybrid event. There's a VIP kind of in-person experience in Columbus, Ohio for a limited seating to create that kind of intimate feel that we're going for, but then also an opportunity virtually. So today's episode, we'll preview this powerful experience that's just coming in a couple short days. But before we do that, let's pause, take a quick break, and we'll be right back. I want to share with you the great excitement for this year's Thermostat Cultures live event on Friday, November 8th, 2024. As you know, this event that I've hosted over the last 7 years has been an inspiring day of development focused on authentic leadership and culture. I've been joined by powerful voices like Howard Behar, former president of Starbucks, Shane Battier, two-time NBA champion, Jenny Britton, founder of Jenny's Ice Cream, Jessica Jackley, co-founder of Kiva, Cameron Mitchell from Cameron Mitchell Restaurants, Greg Oden, and on and on and on. This year, Thermostat Cultures Live will be a hybrid event. There will be a powerful VIP in-person experience with limited seating in Columbus, Ohio, and a virtual experience for those wanting to participate remotely. I am so excited about this year's lineup of voices joining me, such as New York Times best-selling author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, and founder of The Theory of Enchantment, Chloe Valdary. So please visit thermostatcultureslive.com or jasonvbarger.com to learn more, and I hope you'll help share the word and join these conversations that are the currency for change. Rally your team, reserve your seats, thermostatcultureslive.com. So with the event only a couple of days away, again, I always get excited this time of year just for the people that are involved. It's great to step back and to remember the purpose. When I first started doing this event years ago, I just had the idea. I'm so fortunate to get to go to a lot of different events, to join, to company events or annual meetings or conferences or, any kind of association gatherings where I'm invited in to speak and contribute and be a part of, somebody else's event. But this is an opportunity for me to kind of curate my own experience and bring other people together to be a part of it. And I just wanted to get some great, cool people in one room, people that are in leadership positions across different organizations and companies and industries. I wanted to invite in people that I certainly admire and respect and want to share their voices and with the people. And I want us to just have a co-created conversation that is the currency for change, to think about what does this mean for how we show up individually, and then certainly the types of cultures that we're trying to lead with the people around us. So the purpose from the very beginning has been, hey, let's create an experience for people we all need time to in space to kind of step back and to think and to breathe and then to think about that temperature that we're trying to set in our own life, and certainly in our work, the type of thermostat that we want to be for other people. So, we're all still developing. None of us have it all figured out. And so we need time to kind of calibrate that thermostat on what it means to be an authentic leader in the world today and how to create those compelling cultures. So on today's episode, I'm sharing just a few things about this year's event. Again, I shared some great things about those in the past that have joined me, but here are some things to remember about this event that's coming up just in a couple of days. One, again, it's a hybrid event. So hybrid, that means limited in-person VIP experience in Columbus, Ohio. Again, by the time I record this, not sure whether there are still seats available, because by the time you're listening to this, I don't know, but you could always check that out. And I know for sure there will be virtual, obviously online access if you want to, from a distance, be a part of this experience in that kind of hybrid setting. I'll just say that the other thing I'll share about this year's event is it's needed. There's so much happening in the world. There's so much angst and division and disconnection and just negativity and noise. there's certainly in organizational settings, all of this talk around retaining great talent and attracting great talent and developing cultures and like that are meaningful to the future of work. All of this is around, it's needed. So us to be thinking about leaders and cultures and that authentic leadership and intentional strategies to shape culture and kind of breathe oxygen into the people around us, those strategies are needed more than ever. Like always, there are powerful voices that will be joining me. If you don't think mine is powerful, I will do my best to frame up, and I'll be facilitating the whole day. But I'm so great to have some other great people that will be joining me and kind of joining me in dialogue about all this stuff. So thought leaders from around the world, really, and they're going to share about how they're calibrating their own thermostat and what they're desiring over the next 12 months, and I'll highlight some of those powerful voices here in just a second. I'll just remind you that it's not just a, hey, come and experience something. It really is a powerful experience that gets you thinking about not just, hey, that resonated with me, but what does action look like for me next, and what kind of impact am I hoping to have, and leaving the day with, not just inspired, but some kind of tangible next steps to stimulate progress in your life and work with that kind of solutions-focused mindset. And again, there might be a few tickets available at this last minute. You can check out thermostatcultureslive.com for that, but certainly there are virtual seats available if that is still of interest to you. And if you have other questions about the event or sponsorship opportunities, any of that kind of stuff, just email info@jasonvbarger.com, info@jasonvbarger.com for any of the last minute questions or things that you might have or need. So let me highlight some of the voices that are joining me this year for this year's unique event. I'll just point out James Clear, New York Times bestselling author of the book Atomic Habits. Again, you might know of James's work. He's an amazing human, and his book Atomic Habits has sold 15 million copies around the world in 60 different languages. He's got 3 million plus subscribers to his newsletter. He's world renowned, and leads a master class on habits and how our systems, processes impact us as humans, let alone organizations. James and I connected, I think it was last year actually, or maybe 2 years ago. We connected. We both spoke at an event at different times, but the same event. We didn't even know this, but we are both Denison University alums, so we made that connection. And ever since then, we've gotten together for coffee a couple times and a couple meetings. I just really appreciate him. I think he's a tremendous thinker, and what a gift to be able to share him with the audience coming up here. So that's going to be amazing. Chloe Valdary, you may have heard me talk about her on past podcasts. She's the founder of Theory of Enchantment. Her company's work on keeping love at the heart of work around bias, bigotry, disconnection. It's powerful stuff. If you heard our recent kind of podcast chat, you'll know that Chloe is going to be an amazing voice to share with this group as well. Obviously, in such a world that we live in that is divided on so many topics and issues, this is going to be a powerful conversation about how do we lead and create cultures of connection in a world that is often very divided. So that's going to be an amazing part of the day too. Howard Behar, former president of Starbucks, again, my great friend and mentor, servant leadership, guru. He's been a part of really about every one of these events. He was the first person I called when I started this event and just said, hey, buddy, I need you to come. And he's been along for the ride ever since. He'll be participating this year virtually. And so we'll get to have him chime in every once in a while. And then a couple of other past folks that you may recognize if you've been around this event. Ken Bouyer, who works for EY, formerly Ernst & Young, but EY. He oversees the inclusiveness for all of the Americas. Amazing person, friend, always a value-added voice to help us stimulate progress just as humans, as leaders, as teams and organizations, and thinking across a huge global firm. Kevin Clayton, Executive VP, Chief Impact and Equity Officer for Rock Entertainment Group, which is not only the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers, but also more teams and entities that fall under that Rock Entertainment Group umbrella. Passionate guy, great guy, friend, TCL alum. And way more people, by the way, are going to be a part of this, but I'm just highlighting a few of those just to get you excited about what's coming up. The caliber of people attending that always attend Thermostat Cultures Live is second to none. So I love this collection of humans who are just in the room, people that are participating, engaging, contributing. It'll be a powerful day, and I just wanted to preview it and get excited with you for it. So I hope you'll think about being a part of it. I guess some questions, as I always do, to end these podcasts. I just say, are you attending? And if not, why? and virtual seats are still available. So check out thermostatcultureslive.com. I hope you'll engage if you're a part of it, join in the conversation, stimulate progress for your own life and work, and just dive in to be a part of it. We know that calibrating our own personal thermostats, it takes time to step back and do that. We all are thermostats for the people around us. Our own internal temperature sets a temperature externally for others around us, and it's important for us to think about that every once in a while. So I hope you'll be hearing more about the event in future podcasts, and I'll give you a recap, but I hope you'll be a part of it. I hope you'll keep tuning in again to this podcast. And remember, the best leaders, teams, and cultures on the planet stimulate progress by recalibrating their thermostats together. Step back, remember, be a thermostat, and breathe good oxygen.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast, and I hope the messages and questions stimulate positive change along your path. As always, if these messages resonate with you and add value to your life, I hope you'll help amplify them throughout the world. Please rate, comment, and share on whatever podcast or social media platform you're using, and share this podcast with the people in your life or work who should be part of these conversations. That way, this spirit does, in fact, spread. If these messages or developing leaders and culture would be helpful to you and your organization, please contact us at jasonvbarger.com, jasonvbarger.com. And remember, we are all ambassadors for the culture we want to create in our life and work. We have to own the vision we want to be a part of. The future of leadership is you, is me, is us. Be a thermostat.